Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Good morning, everybody. I decided to switch it up this morning and straighten my hair and put on makeup. Now, I did warn you guys when I started to put myself online that I was no Taz, who always looks impeccable, and her makeup, she has to be like professionally trained. That's not me. But today, makeup. Okay, today is not going to be another 20-something minute long video, I hope. I hope it'll be a lot shorter. I think the shorter ones, from what I understand, you guys like the shorter ones better. But we do have a lot still to cover today. So we're just gonna cram it into a shorter video, or I'm gonna try to, okay? So let's just jump in and get there. All right, to start off with, this photo was sent to me by my follower, Jean, and it was taken from Twitter. And the Twitter account is called Astro Backyard. And this is a picture of the Lobster Claw Nebula in Cassiopeia. It's in prime position for the astrophotography. Oh, I can't even speak. There you go. Beautiful photo. And my subscriber, Sarah, sent me this photo. Wow, that's impressive. So this morning, I turned on Piers Morgan, his talk TV show. And this woman that you see above, who apparently is an attorney, had a lot to say. And my jaw was just falling open the more she talked. She said that Harry should put his book out because, and I'm quoting, he should have the opportunity to have his say. To which Piers Morgan goes, he hasn't stopped talking since he left the family. So Piers Morgan says to her, I'll stop attacking Harry and Meghan when they stop attacking the royal family. And the woman goes, are they attacking the royal family or are they telling their truth? Now with this, Piers Morgan looks at this woman and goes, excuse me, there is no such thing as his truth. There is the truth, which anybody who's sane knows. And he points out that every time she says something that's supposed to be her truth, it's a proven lie. And the woman goes, well, that's exactly why they have to have this book, because you're denying their truth. She's another one of the smartest, dumbest people I've ever seen. Piers Morgan says, why should they be allowed to tell blatant lies? And the woman goes, well, they don't believe they're blatant lies. And this is what I'm talking about with the Meghan Markle lovers. Because Piers Morgan says to this woman, well, what about when Meghan Markle said that Charles was going to change the convention for Archie and he wasn't going to get to be a prince? And she goes, Meghan never said that. Meghan inferred it, but she never said it. Actually, not that we don't already know this, but here's a perfect example. Meghan said that they confiscated her passport, her car keys, her driver's license. She was trapped. But she wasn't, was she? I mean, come on. But this woman is going to tell you that that's her truth. Kind of like the Oprah interview was her truth, and now she's being sued by her sister for it. You get the point. All right, moving on. All right, I just had to throw this picture in here because I really like it. All right, moving on. An article came out saying that Harry was terrified Meghan was going to leave him to attend the funeral. So I'm thinking that's why she didn't leave. But let's be honest, if she left, the brothers might talk. There might be some sort of reconciliation. And I think that's the last thing she wants, in my personal opinion. And then you see these beautiful photos of Catherine doing her curtsy and Sophie doing her curtsy. And then here comes Meghan. Now she curtsied and bowed her head to the head of the very institution that she claimed called her child the N-word and she called the whole royal family racist. And I'm just wondering what the Sugars are thinking about this. I agree with what this Twitter person said. It's all about optics. You're curtsying willingly and deeply to a woman that you lobbed racist accusations at. Yeah. Man, you guys, Mike looks like he just wants to jump him and strangle him. All right, anyway, we know that Meghan was supposed to be on the Jimmy Fallon show and she was making a trip for the UN General Assembly. I think she was doing the UN General Assembly because she was upset that she couldn't get to talk when Harry went. And as it turns out, it's just as well because they made a fool out of Harry. Well, now it's coming out she was supposed to be in a glitzy awards ceremony. Again, she was going to talk about women and she was going to be there with Hillary Clinton. Do you guys see a pattern here? It's not her and Harry. It's just her. She is living her best life, and Harry has fulfilled his usefulness, and he's no longer in the podcast, and he's no longer going to things. He's just kind of there. And this is not royalty. This is celebrity. This is what she wanted, to be a celebrity. Now she's got it. Yeah, poor Harry. He's just nowhere. Realizing that she has been slamming the royal family in every single podcast, realizing that making, the man who could give titles to your children, making him upset could be detrimental to getting those titles, she's decided to go through all of her podcasts and try to find anything that could be deemed offensive, because she's trying to appease Charles because she refuses to cancel the podcast. Sky News said it the best. You guys know how much I love the Australian news because these people don't hold back. Listen to this.
Well, Andrew, this is Meghan Markle's modus operandi, is to trash the royal family. Now, her podcast has been put on hold as a result of the Queen's death, but this is how she makes her money. Her links with the royal family is why people talk about her. Now, the podcast teams are going through rigidly through these upcoming episodes to make sure that she's not trashing the royal family. Well, she should hang her head in shame, Andrew, that it takes the death of the Queen, should I say, for Meghan Markle and the podcast team to actually go, oh, hang on a minute, we shouldn't be trashing the royal family. Again, Harry's no better than Meghan. Those two are as bad as each other. They're making money out of trashing the royal family, and I think it's utterly disgraceful.
In the meantime, the people of Sussex are doing a petition. They want the Duke and Duchess titles removed from Harry and Meghan. And I have to tell you, with their recent, when Charles asked them to remove, not put out the book and stop the Spotify, and they didn't, you never know what could end up happening here. And the next little story that came out, which I have trouble believing, is that Charles has decided he's going to let the children be prince and princess. With everything going on right now, do you think that they've had a chance to sit down with Charles and discuss the titles of their children? Do I think they would like to do that? Absolutely. Do I think Charles is even thinking about that right now? No, I don't. Now, the way the story reads, the kids don't get HRH. They're simply, hey, Prince Archie. That's like, hey, Master Archie. That's like, hey, David Archie. It's nothing. It's an empty name. It means nothing. But just remember, titles don't mean anything to Meghan. She doesn't care about the titles. So if it is true, which I doubt it, why in the heck would they care about the titles and whether they get them or not? And I have to say that refusing to cancel the book that you've written that he knows is going to disparage his wife of 17 years who he loves, that's not helping the case either. So they shouldn't be surprised that they're not getting what they want when they've been treating the family like dirt for the last 2 years. And now they're continuing to trash the family, and Charles is well aware of what's coming. What do you expect? Now, I want to make one more quick little comment before we move on. There are people on Twitter going, you're just jealous because you could never get a prince like that to marry you. He'll never sleep with you. He'll never be your husband. And my response to that is, I could never be married to a man that I could carry his balls around in my pocket. According to this Twitter user, apparently Harry and Meghan are complaining about Andrew's daughters because they have HRH status despite not being working royals. So in the middle of the grieving and the funeral, they're screaming about their kids' titles. If this story is true, it just wouldn't surprise me. Sorry. All right, moving on. The family has fanned out across the UK to meet the public. So we're going to start with the Prince and Princess of Wales, who have gone to Sandringham to look at all of the floral displays that were put out. Absolutely gorgeous. It's my understanding that they're pulling the plastic in the evenings to help with the environment. That's what I saw. I hope that's correct. And then they got up and they went around to greet everybody, shake hands. It was a beautiful moment. I mean, just look at the reception that they're getting. Look at all the hands reaching forward, even from the very back. That just amazes me. Anyway, here's a little clip for you. Watch this. Now, while this is going on, Sophie and Edward went to Manchester, where they walked around, greeted the people, and then went into a church and lit some candles. Watch these clips.
Hello, Mum. Good morning, Mum. Good morning, Mum.
The two of them even went into the Manchester Library to read cards and from the books of condolences that had been set up there. I just think that's lovely. Now, while this is going on, Anne went to Scotland to St. James Square, is where I believe this took place. Lots of crowds, lots of people, and she did what everybody else was doing again, and she's walking around and she's looking at all of the beautiful floral tributes that were left for her mother. So while this is going on, there's a little girl in the audience, and she had a floral tribute. And I think she said to Anne, "These are for you." And Anne said, no, they're for my mother. They're for Mom. And the little girl was like, "No, they're for you." Very sweet. Here's a little video of it. Watch this.
Oh, that's lovely. They're not for me, aren't they? The pink one. Oh.
Very sweet. Very sweet moment, and a moment that little girl will remember for a long time. All right, let's move on now. For those of you who are wondering where Charles is today, he is taking 1 day of well-needed rest at Highgrove with Camilla. Can't really say that you blame him. He's been going nonstop since the minute his mother passed away. I think he needs a break. Now, as far as Meghan and Harry go, we haven't seen them today. However, I'm sure as soon as they realize that everybody else is on Walkabouts, it wouldn't surprise me if they popped up somewhere. Now, if they do, I'll report on that tomorrow, not today. All right, now, one of the beef eaters, one of the people that was standing guard at the Queen's coffin, apparently fainted and went head first to the cement floor. Now, the police were there. They ran right over. They grabbed this guy. He got medical attention. Apparently, he recovered very quickly. And he said that doing that was one of the biggest honors of his life. I believe he asked to continue. So that's what they'll be doing. All right, really quickly, just letting you know also that on Sunday night, there's going to be a state dinner. Charles is hosting the dinner for all the foreign dignitaries that are coming in for the funeral on Monday of the Queen, and working royals will be there, which means Harry and Meghan will not be there, and neither will Andrew. Done. Okay. All right. Now, the PR pushes are coming out. We've heard that Harry and Meghan are no longer using Sunshine Sachs. Apparently, other people that were being represented by Sunshine Sachs were asked to step up and help Harry and Meghan, and there was so much pushback that they're out. So magazines, though, whoever they've hired is doing stuff like this. Look at this magazine. Kate Middleton's shady past. And in this article, they're claiming that Kate's mom offered drugs to somebody and insinuated that she was invited or in prostitution. Guys, really? You know, if Harry and Meghan had brain one in their heads, they would stop all of this until the titles were conferred. But with this going on, oh, forget it. And Cut Magazine, remember the one that made fun of Catherine's hat and the one that gave the interview to Meghan. And by the way, in case you didn't see my previous video, the young lady who interviewed Meghan put up a tweet. It appears that Meghan didn't like the things that she said, and it looks like she doesn't work for them anymore. Yeah. Has now put this up, King Charles's reign of fussiness. I mean, really, people, the Queen died. Can you show respect for like 24 hours? Is it too much to ask? All I can say is thank God readers have half a brain and they're now turning on the magazine. Yep, that's what happens when you go too far. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
So I kept to my word, and the video was only 13 to 14 minutes long, much shorter than usual. Okay. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I'm still getting messages from people saying that they've been unsubscribed. I don't know what that is, and I don't know how to fix it for you guys. So just check, make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget to leave those comments because I am reading them. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter, Getter, Rumble. You can email me. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, and for those of you who are new, I have a legendary love of coffee. I want to thank you very much if you've donated through the thanks button. To those who have donated money and asked me specifically to buy toys and stuff for Finn, we have done that this past week as well to help keep him busy while we're in our temporary housing unit. All right. I hope you guys have a great day.